Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Honorable Al Cardenas, Chairman of the American Conservative Union.
All right, well, this is an exciting moment as we wrap up our great CPAC weekend. We've got two great things coming up, and this is the first one, the long-awaited straw poll and its results. And here with me is our two people. One is our good friend Tony Fabrizio of Fabrizio Lee. Tony's been doing our polls since 1986, and he's done them for free for you and for us. And so help me giving Tony a big hand as he comes up. And also want to introduce to you the sponsor of the straw poll and a partner of ours here at CPAC, Larry Beasley, who's the chairman and CEO and president of the Washington Times. Larry?
Thank you, Al. Well, has everyone had fun this week? Well, you all fired up to go back to your hometowns and fight to be liberated from the spending, the taxes, and the regulations? Yeah, so we can finally change our country's direction. Well, if you are, and I think you can, join me in thanking Al, Dan, Millie, and the rest of the great CPAC team for what they've done here this week. It's been a sensational conference. Sensational. And it's not over yet. Now this is my favorite part of CPAC, an opportunity to announce a winner. And this year I actually get to announce winners from two contests that reflect the deep partnership the Washington Times enjoys with CPAC. The Washington Times will announce these winners that have a chance to help change our country's future. First, we get to announce the name of a few young journalists who won Washington Times Idol. I hope some of you had an opportunity to participate. That's the contest many of you came to see with 16 aspiring reporters that tested their interviewing skills against big-name newsmakers for a chance to win a fully paid summer internship with the Times. When we announced the competition just a short time back, we only planned to name two winners. But because of the generosity of one of CPAC's great friends, we're going to award 3 paid internships this summer. Great. And I'm going to let that good friend explain to you in his own words why he did this.
Hello, CPAC. I'm Jim Martin, chairman of the 60 Plus Association. And as many of my friends know, I started my career here in the nation's capital as a newspaper reporter. And I've seen how journalism done right can make the country better, especially in times of great crisis like we face today. When reporters and editors are fair, without a political agenda, they serve our country well by holding the powerful to account. I saw this as a young reporter covering President John Kennedy's assassination, and throughout the Cold War, when great media institutions alerted the world to the creeping dangers of communism. But today, the profession has been hijacked by elitists who wish to impose their points of view. I want to help change that. So that's why 60 Plus has endowed a summer internship at the Washington Times so a young reporter can learn from experts at a newspaper that's done it great and right for more than 3 decades. To my friends at this great paper, the Washington Times, and to this year's winner, go get them, and you can help make America great again.
Thanks, Jim, for your extraordinary generosity. With the endowment from the Times, I'm proud to announce the 2 young journalists who will work this summer as paid interns from the Washington Times. And I'll announce those now. They're Chloe Johnson from American University in Washington, D.C., Megan Drake from Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, and Samantha Scorzo from Hillsdale College in Michigan. And Samantha has the added distinction of being the first ever Jim Martin 60+ scholar at the Times. So Chloe, Megan, and Samantha, congratulations and welcome aboard. Now, the second winner of the competition has a more immediate chance to change our country. That's the conservative leader that you've picked to be the best person to send Barack Obama into retirement and to return the White House to conservative leadership in 2016. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? I know it does for the 13 million Americans who read the Washington Times each month. The CPAC Washington Times straw poll is more than a tradition each year. It's the perfect barometer of the conservative movement. And thanks to the great work that Tony Fabrizio's firm does, it also has an uncanny knack of predicting who is rising into the top echelons of the conservative power. So without further ado, let me bring Tony to the podium to explain what you told us and who won the straw poll. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Al. Thank you all. This is the 28th year that we've done the straw poll for CPAC. It's a long time, and congratulations to all of you, because from the first one we did, we could fit everybody watching the straw poll results in one small room. Now we couldn't do that today if we had to, with so many of you participating. This year, as in past years with the straw poll, the straw poll began being taken on Thursday morning at 7 o'clock when registration opened, and the straw poll was supposed to close at 1 o'clock today, but actually we kept it open a half hour later, till 1:30. And this year we had 2,459 people participate in the straw poll, which is actually slightly more than we saw 4 years ago at this time for the CPAC straw poll. So give yourselves a nice round of applause for participating. We had respondents from every one of the 50 states in the United States, and only registrants could vote. They were the only people, as all of you have on your badges, you have little codes and you have instructions on how to do it. And boy, how's it changed from going from doing it by paper and putting in ballot boxes to now where everybody can do it on their iPads and their iPhones and at the kiosks throughout. So it makes it easier. I'd like to thank my partner David Lee and James Lee and Travis Tunis, who've been here for the last 3 days making sure this operated well and we got the results counted right. I get to come in at the end and just do the glory job of presenting the results to everybody. But without further ado, let's look at some of the results from the CPAC straw poll. So, the type of registrants, 48% were individual registrants, 42% were students, very similar to what we see in past years. 5% with a participating organization, and 4% with a participating organization. Age, CPAC continues to be dominated. Continues to be dominated by young people, as almost 1 in 2 of the participants in the straw poll was between the ages of 18 and 25. However, we had 1/3 of them that were between the ages of 26 and 55, and 20% that were over the age of 55. So slightly up from past years with some of the more mature members of the CPAC audience. In terms of gender, we had 63% were male, 37% were female, very, very much in line with what we've seen in past years. In terms of what drives people who attend CPAC, now let's understand, the CPAC straw poll is not a quantitative survey in the real sense of what you may read about in newspapers. This is a sampling of people from all 50 states who are at the forefront of the conservative movement. They're the people who go knock on doors. You're the people that make the phone calls. You're the people that go stand in shopping centers and hand out brochures and literature for candidates and causes. So this is representative of what you, the front line, think. Not every conservative, but the activists, the ones that are at the front line. And here you see that more than 3 in 4 of you say that the most important, your ideology is driven by individual freedom and reducing the size and scope of government and its intrusion into individual citizens' lives. And by the way, that number has been consistent now for the past several years. When we look at one of our favorite people in Washington, only kidding, you can see we did a little time chart here and went back and looked at how President Obama had fared with CPAC respondents in the past. And as you can see, back in 2012, there were actually 19% of the people that said they approved of the job he was doing. Well, today, in 2014, it is virtually unanimous that everyone disapproves of the job he is doing. Although I do have a question. Do we allow the media to vote? Because 2% said that they approve of the job he's doing. No, not the Washington Times. I wasn't talking about you, Larry. But more troubling for our friends down on Capitol Hill is look at the ratings the Republicans in Congress get. In 2012, it was basically split. In 2013, by a 10-point margin, you all said that you supported what they were doing, that you approved the job. This year, they are, what we say in the business, underwater. 51%, a majority disapproved the job the Republicans in Congress are doing. That's a number they need to pay attention to. How do you think we should fix the budget deficit? Shock and surprise. 78% said cut spending. Oh, the slide didn't go? Oh, sorry, I went backwards. Sorry. I pressed the wrong button. 78% said cut spending. 16% said raise taxes and cut spending. And 1%, it's that media vote again, that said we should raise taxes only. What do you all think? Yes, cut. What do you all, we asked you, what did you think the role of the United States should be in the world today? And 52% of you, a majority, said that it's time for our allies to stand up, provide for their own defenses, and not rely on the United States. I'm sure this one will be an even bigger favorite. Our friends over at the NSA, if the Republicans on Capitol Hill need to get a message, the people at the NSA need to read this one real closely. 78% disapprove of the NSA monitoring phone calls and scanning emails in the excuse of fighting global terrorism. This next slide, I think, is going to be a little bit of a surprise to everybody and an evolution. We asked the question about your view on marijuana, whether it should be legalized for recreational purposes, legalized to use for medical marijuana. I'm going to switch it. I'm building to it. Give me a chance. Got to show a little leg here. Or whether we should keep it illegal or, keep it illegal, just illegal. And as you can see, a plurality said that we should legalize it for recreational and medical use. 21% said it should be for medical use, and 31% said it should be illegal. Now, I know you're going to say that we had almost half of the people who were young that did that. But I will tell you, I looked at the numbers by the different age groups. And with the exception of the participants who were over the age of 65, every age group had a majority in combination of legalized, either for recreational or medicinal purposes combined, that gave it a majority. So it wasn't just the youngsters. And the numbers you have all been waiting for with bated breath, the one that every year gets the biggest howl out of the audience is, who won the CPAC straw poll for the presidential preference? And as you can see, for the second year in a row, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul won with 31%. Texas Senator Ted Cruz came in second with 11. Ben Carson came in third at 9. Governor Christie came in at 8. Governor Walker came in at 7. Senator Santorum, former Senator Santorum at 7, and Florida Senator Marco Rubio at 6. There were 25 people on the list. Not everybody scored more than 1%, so a lot of them in the other, and we had a whole slew of write-ins, but none of those write-ins, and they ranged everywhere from Jeb Bush to, believe it or not, Calvin Coolidge is making a comeback. But not all of them scored beyond 1%, so we clumped them all together. But again, thank you for participating. Look forward to next year for an even greater response next year.